In nearly 6 years of making weekly YouTube videos, this one might be the most peculiar topic yet. This, or when I rank Survivor Pizza. Either way, internet, my name is Peridiam, and let's talk about a surprisingly oft-requested topic, Survivor players who dropped off the face of the earth. It's kind of like going to the edge of extinction, except instead of earning fire tokens, you earn the sanctity of living a quiet and peaceful life away from prying eyes. Wait. Are we the baddies? But even though I have got 5 players who have seemingly gone MIA since their season and had to do a bit of internet sleuthing to find out what's happened to them, I won't be revealing too much because I'm not here to do that. Also, per the topic of the video, there isn't much to talk about. If I asked you to give me one name of who you think is the most invisible winner in Survivor history, who would you say? Well, not only is this player invisible on the island, they're also quite invisible in real life too. I'm talking about the winner of season 19 Samoa, Natalie White. Now, I've defended this woman a decent amount, as the moment that she won, she was basically denounced online nearly 15 years ago in 2009 for being an undeserving winner. But the fanbase wasn't a fan of hers much, given she was barely on her season, only received 15 confessionals total, and was sitting next to Russell Hantz, one of the loudest ever, most visible players in Survivor history. Natalie took her check, did a few interviews, and ran. We've never seen her again. She wasn't even in the mix for Winners at War, the all-winner season, and I'm not surprised. She had her 15 minutes of fame, or in her edit's case, like 3 minutes, and that was it. So, from what I've seen post-season, she got married, changed her last name, has a family, lives in Oklahoma, works for some sort of Christian organization, not surprised, and according to one player, only speaks to one person from the show. And I doubt you will guess who that player is. Should I give you a minute? From season 16, Micronesia, it is Chet. Yeah, the guy who hit his head back there. In Chet's 2020 EW questionnaire, he said this was the case. I do also know that Todd from China has said he used to talk to her somewhat often, but that was many, many years ago, so there you go. That is what we got on Natalie.
How do you want to spend it?
Oh, wow. I definitely want to take my boyfriend on an amazing vacation.
There you go.
And I'm going to save the rest.
There you go. How about a nice big order of humble pie for the man sitting next to you? That would be a nice purchase.
Speaking of Micronesia, another player who I haven't heard from in a while, since I think around her last season aired back in 2010, is Amanda Kimmel from season 15, China, 16, Micronesia, and 20, Heroes vs. Villains. From 2010 to present, I have only found a few moments of her in the wild, the latest being from a deep dive from 4 years ago in 2019, where she briefly talks about her involvement in the Eric blindside. But like, in the span of 13 years, having just one article just isn't much to work with. She did compete in the RHAP Miss Survivor competition in 2012 and spoke a little bit about her life at the time over a decade ago.
You are a bit of a Survivor recluse. You're
an enigma.
You're an enigma. You're so mysterious. That
I know, it's so... People say that, and I'm just like, I'm just very private, but I think it comes across as elusive and like, that I don't want to be involved, but that's not the case. I don't know. It's like, it's weird.
No, but you're so mysterious. You're even like,
and people love it.
Yeah, your house is dark. It's hard to see you.
Is it dark?
Yes, you're very mysterious.
Should I go get a light?
There's also a pretty interesting article by Screen Rant, a website that pushes out clickbait, about what Amanda is up to now in 2023. And I had hoped that it would prove informative, but I gave Screen Rant way too much credit with my single click, as they based the entire article around the wrong Amanda Kimmel. So after hours of going down the wrong rabbit hole, I dug a little deeper to figure out which catwalk the actual beauty queen wandered down, and it turns out, similar to Natalie White, Amanda is living her best life back in her home state of Montana. She's married, she changed her last name, she has a family, and owns a spa and colon hydrotherapy business with her husband. That's right, I did not misspeak. If you're headed to Yellowstone and want to have Amanda clean your bumhole on the way, now you can. Perhaps the most reclusive hidden gems in the Survivor community come from, go figure, the earliest of seasons, as those players have had the longest time to distance themselves. And you know, I think this video would have about as much merit as a Screen Rant article article if I didn't include the infamous duo from season 1 Borneo, Colleen Haskell and Greg Buis. These are two of the most well-regarded players from the first season of the show. Back in the summer of 2000, two of the biggest names in Survivor history, if only because Survivor was watched by 50 million people at the time. They were household names: Greg the Egg, the Goof, the guy with the coconut phone, and Colleen, America's sweetheart. Yeah, I love them. What happened to them after the show? Well, Colleen starred in the hit movie The Animal with Rob Schneider and Adam Sandler. She had a cameo in that 70s show, but otherwise left the Hollywood limelight and was never heard from again. Literally, no interviews, no appearances, nothing. For 2 decades. And I'm here to report that there is not much to report on, although I do know that she's currently working at Netflix, which is pretty cool, and living abroad in France, which is also pretty cool, with her family. It's pretty random, but you know what? That's life for you.
I'm Rihanna. Is something wrong? Nice catch. You know, there's something about you. I cannot figure it out.
On the flip side, Greg was pretty much invisible from the jump. After Borneo, there was very little to work with. He never really took Survivor seriously and thus didn't care for the post-show Hollywood springboard it was serving up. The only interview in the past 20 years I have found from him was when he was interviewed by Survivor Oz in 2012. The interview is actually on YouTube if you want to hear from him. It's about an hour and he talks about his life for the past decade since Borneo wrapped up. And while details are slim beyond that interview over 10 years ago now, as of 2023, it seems like he is still probably currently the founder of a company that focuses on green energy.
My question is for Colleen and Greg. Was there a budding romance going on between you two while you were on the island? And is there something going on now?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I was covering for another relationship going on. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Last but not least, oh, definitely not least, I give you the crown jewel of this video topic. The player who has disappeared from the Survivor world for nearly 15 years, and unlike Greg or Colleen or Natalie White, has not been able to be tracked down even by the players from the same season. From season 10, Palau. Back in 2005, the man who dropped off the face of the earth, likely by design, it's the one and only, the irreplaceable, to immunity and beyond. Yep, the one core player who was booted in the pre-merge from the most dominant tribe in Survivor history, the guy who was nearly eliminated in the premiere at the surprise schoolyard pick'em, Willard makes this video. And after all that, I just have one question. Where's Willard? It's been nearly 2 decades. He is Waldo on steroids. In a podcast interview on RHAP in 2020 with T-Bird Cooper from Season 3 Africa, she spoke with Katie, the runner-up of Palau, who mentioned that during the quarantine, the Palau cast held a 15-year reunion and Willard didn't show up. Karen from the same season tried to find him to show up. She even went so far as to hire a private investigator to track down his whereabouts. And no dice.
Does anybody keep up with Willard?
I tried to find Willard. Karen said she hired a private investigator.
Yes.
And she couldn't find him. She failed.
So he's the hidden immunity idol now?
He is the hidden immunity idol. We cannot find Willard. Willard then became this enigma to me, and I just really wanted to find Willard for this Zoom, and we never found him. I was like, I'd really like to call him if we get his number. And then Karen's like, I already hired someone. I already called. I was like, okay, Karen. Okay.
I also couldn't find anything on him, although I didn't hire a private investigator, but it should be said that, you know, go figure, searching the internet for a guy named Willard Smith is gonna make things a little complicated in the search. That said, while I've got nothing for you, I do want to leave you with this wild exit interview I dug up from Willard that he gave after being voted out, where he explained how he got onto Survivor in the first place. Basically, he didn't really want to be on the show, he just made a bet that he could get on. He created a completely different persona, and voila! Now he's forever the immunity idol of Palau.
You're an attorney, but you didn't tell people that. You told them.
I told them I was a mailman. Nobody dislikes the mailman.
And they all bought it. You guys didn't know.
I told Karen, but Karen is a lawyer too. We could smell each other out like sharks.
And that's it. Those are 5 Survivor players who dropped off the face of the earth. Also known as just living normal lives, being regular people with jobs and families, and doing things that don't involve scouring the internet for breadcrumbs to put together this YouTube video. Crap, yeah, I'm definitely the baddie here. A big thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel, even in the off season. It's a long summer. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to live your normal life on your way out. And I will see you in the next one, once I go back to ranking pizza on Survivor.
Well, whose idea was it to tease the audience and leave everyone thinking that maybe something happened?
We were there to make a TV show. I mean, we were there.
Is that to say it was your idea?
Show. Sex and violence.
When people ask you questions, you know what they want, so give them the answer. It's more interesting.
What about
and
the second part of the lady's question? What about since the island?
No.
Are you going to tell the truth this time?
I mean, look, there were a lot of people who thought strange things. They thought Sean, Jenna.
See, now we did have sex.